Morning, everyone. Today's July 13th. It's Tuesday, 2001. We're over here at the Papago Ponds Park, over right next to the Phoenix Zoo. There's actually 3 lakes here, or little ponds. We're going to be starting with pond number 3 right here. It's the biggest of the ponds. It's a 3-acre pond, I think only 11 feet deep. It looks very shallow at the front end here, so I'm probably going to work towards the back end. But there's 3 ponds here. This is number 3, that's 3 acres. Right next to it is another one, that's number 2, which is 2 acres, and then number 1, which is 1 acre. So my goal is to spend some time on each one of these and see what we can get. We'll see you guys as soon as I set up. It's now almost 7:40. Just got set up over here at pond number 3, the bigger one, the 3-acre pond. I've already seen 2 or 3 fish jumping out of the water, big ones. I think they're carp, just like yesterday. So I brought some bread to try out. Right now I got it a little too wet, so I'm letting it dry for a second before I put it on the hook so it stays on. But I'm going to start with the original chatterbait here. Maybe there might be one of those, might have been a bass. I do see minnows along the shoreline here, and the water is fairly clear, so that's a good sign. Sorry for the noise. They're doing lots of construction here in the parking lot at the zoo. I do see lots of action on the water here. Like right over here, you can see all these bubbles coming up. I don't know if that's just natural or if maybe we do have some shad or something up here bubbling up. So I'm going to throw this for a couple minutes, and then I'll probably throw in the bread here today. I brought bread and I brought some hot dogs. Hot dog buns and bread. I ran out of bacon yesterday, so, and I don't know if I just hit a rock or if something tried to just hit this. This looked like the kind of area that might have crawdads, so I did bring my soft plastic crawdad. I could probably give that a shot too. So far I have not seen a turtle yet, but I don't want to jinx myself. I'm assuming they're here too. I haven't encountered a pond yet that did not have turtles in it, so. Oh, I had a bluegill. A bluegill was just chasing this thing, actually. So we now have seen a bluegill. I've seen minnows and a bluegill, so that's a good sign. I'll do a few more with this, and then I'll probably switch over to that swim bait and see. Last time I went in this direction, I was chased by a bluegill, so. Oh, I got something. Oh, dang. Look at that. It feels like a bass. Whoa, that's my first. Well, I caught a catfish on this chatterbait before, but I've never caught a bass. I don't know, maybe it's a catfish the way it's fighting. I think it is a catfish. Let's see if we can land him. That's a good start, just like yesterday, right off the bat. Get a fish. It is a catfish, I believe. It is another catfish. A catfish, my second catfish on a chatterbait. Well, I'll take whatever I can get. It's always a good start. Look at that, right off the bat. I've got a chatterbait here with like a little swim bait behind it. I was hoping it was a bass, but I keep getting catfish. And he's got himself hooked pretty good there. Come here. Try not to hurt him. This thing's getting in the way. Alright, let's see if we can get it out. Got him in the bottom jaw here. There we go. It's a nice little catfish, little stalker size, maybe about a pound or so. Very feisty. Say hello to the camera. Hey, so a good start. We got a fish right off the bat. It's more fun to catch the catfish on a lure than with bait, but look at that, guys, right off the bat. Good start. Let me dry my hands up. Let's get this bread in the water, and we'll keep going at it. We got the bread in over here. Not at all the way I would normally want to have my rod holder set up, but this ground is so hard, that's how it ended up. But it is bungee corded on, so I may end up moving it and trying to set it up a little differently, but it's so hard on the ground, it was very difficult to get the rod holder in. Maybe I can find another way to set it up, maybe on this stump or something over here. I'm not really happy with this setup, but there's some bread on there just out in the middle. I'm going to try to stay close by just in case something happens. I'm going to stick with this chatterbait since we got another catfish on it. Maybe we can eventually catch another bass if we're lucky. The first time I caught a catfish on this chatterbait, I didn't have the trailer on there. I didn't have that little shaky shad or whatever. I didn't have this piece on here. I just had it as a plain, it's a little more jacked up than I thought, just like a plain little, just the chatterbait by itself. So I see a lot of people like to use these little things on there as well, so I decided to put it on, and that's how I've been fishing it since then. So, but I have caught a catfish on it without that trailer, so I just thought maybe that trailer might help to catch a bass. I moved over here to the south side of the pond where it looks to be a little deeper. We were just over there where we caught that first catfish. Now I believe we're on the south side, which is right next to the zoo, right here. There's a cool little like pier here, like a small little pier that goes out off the edge. Not very far out, but enough. So I switched up the bread to a hot dog. It's not a raw hot dog, it was some cooked hot dogs I had left over from the 4th of July. So just a small little piece. I kept it on a number 2 hook only because I think it's going to be too small for my bigger octopus hooks. But I do think I see a turtle out there, so they're probably waiting for me. I'm going to start with a gold spinner here real quick, and then I might try that chatterbait again. I want to see what I'm running into over here. Everywhere else, if I let it go too deep, I'm getting stuck up in the like grass or moss that's on the bottom. Try to run this along the shoreline here. We moved over to the middle pond, pond number 2, which is the 2-acre, 8-foot deep pond, right about 9 o'clock on July 13th. 93 degrees, but very, very humid right now. So we'll spend an hour here till about 10 o'clock, and then we'll go to the next one. Looks like there's also a fire off in the distance here. I see some smoke just on the other side of that mountain, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. That's more towards where the 202 and stuff is. So, okay, let's start with crawdad. I got the catfish pole out right now. This ground's so hard I didn't use the rod holder. I just went ahead and set it in this bush. For now, I think it'll be fine. Keep an eye on it. I'm not going to say that I haven't seen any turtles yet, because I feel like that'll jinx me. I see bluegills and minnows I just spooked as soon as I walked up to the edge here, so can't cast that way because of my line, so now I can cast the other way, which is not my strong suit. Right over the reeds. Yeah, I snagged up on a reed, first cast. Come on. And I might have thrown it over my other line. I always like to be off to a good start. Look, we didn't even pull the hook through. Alright. I guess we'll try this out a little different. Maybe I'll go with some like swim shads or something. Shaky shads. I do have the wacky worm set up in there too, so. I am sweating a lot more today than yesterday, and I don't feel like it's as hot as it was yesterday, so without getting rain the past few days, it's definitely, you can feel that humidity growing. I think we're supposed to get storms either today or tomorrow. I'd rather have it be 100 degrees with little or no humidity than this 93 with the higher humidity. It sucks. Something just jumped right out there, straight out in the middle. Maybe I'll try some crankbaits or something, since I can't really get around the shoreline here from where I'm located. I could have probably went over there. This one's definitely more surrounded with reeds other than this bank side over here, which on the other side of that bank is where the pond 3 is at. So it's now around 10 o'clock. We didn't have any luck at the second pond. I did see fish jumping and movement in the water. Twice we lost our bait on the catfish pole, but I don't know what took it. It wasn't like a catfish hit. Didn't do anything, just when I reeled it in it was gone. So I think it was turtles or small bait fish maybe eating it. So we're over here at pond 3. This is the smallest one, the 1 acre. Maximum depth, it says around 7 feet, so it's pretty shallow. Just wraps right around this way. Got the catfish pole in again out towards the middle. It's going to start with the chatterbait, since that's what we caught something on earlier this morning. Just get it pushed up just right. So we'll give this a shot, see how it goes. Probably spend about an hour here, and then I'm thinking about going over to another park here. I think Evelyn Hallman. It's in Tempe, but it's very close to here, so I'm thinking about trying to go over and spend a couple hours there, since I'm right here near it. I think it's only about a mile or so away, a couple miles. Another small pond. It's just after 10. Didn't stay at pond number 1 too long. Wasn't getting any bites, and then got overrun by ants again. They were on everything. So I just got out of there and head back over to the truck. So it's about 10:30ish now. Got here at 7:30, so we spent a good 3 hours here hitting all 3 ponds. I definitely say that pond 3 is the best one, the biggest one, and then probably pond 2 and then pond 1. But if you have time, come check them all out. It's a real nice area. It's not too far off the freeway. We're going to go ahead and head over to Evelyn Hallman Park. It says from here it's only 0.7 miles away, so I believe it's another small 2 acre pond, I believe. I'll see when I get there. I'll see you guys as soon as we get over there. Hey guys, we're still on episode 9 here, and we're over at Evelyn Hallman Park, which is the first park in Tempe, right next to Papago. You have to kind of drive around to get here. It's not right next door, but it is pretty close. So we're going to head over here. It's around 11 a.m. and we'll see what we can get. Well, it's just after 11 on Tuesday, July 13th. We're on episode 9 for our parks and community lakes here and ponds. Right now we're over at Evelyn Hallman Pond. That's over here in Tempe. Doesn't seem like a well-maintained park. As you can see, it's pretty overgrown. I've got the catfish pole out here. I have seen a few minnows. It's a 3-acre lake, I guess, or pond. Another group just came up and set up fishing over here on this corner, on the opposite side of me. So, first group I've seen fishing today, anywhere. We were over at the Papago Ponds this morning. I'm going to start with the little swim shad, since that's what I had on at the last place. It's quite shallow. I think they say the max depth here is only around 7 feet. So, but I've seen a few minnows, so that's a good sign. At least see some bait fish. I may end up just throwing out like a bobber on this one too. There's not a lot of areas, at least where I set up here. The first two places I went to, it's kind of difficult to cast out and around with all this overgrown trees. It's very shallow. Lots of rocks everywhere. It's now just after 11:30 over here at Evelyn Hallman Park in Tempe. As you can see, I don't have a lot of room to cast in this area. Most of the areas are kind of like this, kind of small. Like I said, the park seems to be not maintained very well. I do see a lot of movement out in the water. I've seen minnows. I casted for a little while. Kind of out 2 catfish poles with some bacon on it. I have had one little hit on this pole. Nothing so far on this one. I just checked the baits. They're good. So I'm going to just be sitting here kind of playing the waiting game for a second. This one's getting a little bit of action unless it's the wind. So I'll be turning the camera off while I'm here and keeping it in the cooler so it doesn't overheat. That seems to be a problem out here with this humidity. So if something happens, any action, I'll whip it out and we'll get it on camera. I've got a small school of bluegill down here. 4 of them, going right along here. We're wrapping up episode 9 here at Evelyn Hallman Community Lake, or it's a pond, it says here, sorry, 3-acre pond. It doesn't look like it's a maintained park at all. All there is the pond back there and a lot of overgrowth, one little gazebo. Saw a lot of fish jumping, saw some bluegills, some bait fish. Had a couple small bites on my catfish poles, did see 1 turtle, so could have been that. No luck here, but still a place that might be worth checking out if you're close by. We're going to wrap up this episode, and then stay tuned for the next one. I'll be doing Tempe Town Lake. I'll be doing a morning fish and an evening fish there to check out both of those. Thank you guys all for watching, and please subscribe and comment down below and let me know what you think.